Hey, welcome to my God Fit channel. This is just basic Christianity 101 simple topics with simple answers. And today's topic, we're going to talk about the timeline of Passover or Easter. So the difference between Passover and Easter is this. The Jews celebrate Passover as the deliverance from Egyptian slavery, and Christians celebrate Easter as the resurrection of Jesus after the cross. Passover starts in the month of Aviv, which is aka Nisan, on the 14th day of the first month. Exodus 23, Leviticus 23, and Deuteronomy 16, and Numbers 28. For 7 days, this feast was honored. Now, for us Americans, we only celebrate the resurrection of Jesus on our Sabbath, which is a Sunday. But the Jews honored all of these days. So to correlate our American days to the Hebrew celebration would be as the following. Tuesday evening of that week, after 6 p.m., Jesus had his Last Supper with his disciples. They left the upper room and they headed to the garden, which is across the brook of Cedron. Here Jesus prayed in the garden 3 times, and all of mankind's sin was poured on Jesus all at one time. This is the reason why he sweat blood. Luke 22:44. Now, sometime around midnight, after he finished all of his praying, Judas, who betrayed Jesus, came with a small army of around 500, and they took Jesus. He was first taken to Ananias and then Caiaphas. During this time of questioning, Jesus was beaten and mocked several times, as he was passed between the 2 high priests. During this time, he was found guilty by the high priest, even though he was 100% innocent. He was then later taken to Pontius Pilate for trial early that Wednesday morning. Pilate questioned Jesus several times and found him not guilty. However, because of their tradition, though, which allowed one prisoner of the Jews to be released during that time of year, Pilate asked the crowd who should be spared and who should be condemned. This symbolizes 2 goats, one the sacrifice and the other the scapegoat. This is exactly what happens during the Day of Atonement during Moses' time once a year. Anyway, so a small riot broke out because Pilate actually wanted to let Jesus go free. But the crowd, who was led by the kingdom of darkness, chose Barnabas. So Pilate gave in to the ways of the crowd and condemned Jesus to death. So even at Jesus' trial, did Jesus save a life? Barnabas. So Pilate handed Jesus over to his army. They spit on him, punched him, mocked him. They ripped out his beard, Isaiah 50:6-7. They beat him down with leather and metal stripes, 39 horrible whips, so bad that he was marred beyond human recognition, Isaiah 52:13-15. Then to top it all off, before they sent him on his way to the cross, they jammed a crown of razor-sharp thorns on his head. He lost so much blood that he couldn't carry his own cross, so they grabbed Simon to carry his cross for him. All of this happened during the first hour, which is between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. So around the 3rd hour, from 9 a.m. to noon, closer to noon, that Wednesday, Jesus was crucified on the cross. Mark 15:25. On the cross, Jesus prayed to the Father, and he asked him to forgive them for their sins. They also cast lots for his clothes, Luke 23:34. They also gave him vinegar mixed with gall, which is drugs, to drink to ease the pain, but he refused it. He wanted to taste death without drugs, Matthew 27:34. Now, during this time, the 6th hour, which was from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m., there was darkness over the whole entire earth, Luke 23:44. Now, on either side of the cross were 2 thieves, who were also crucified with Jesus. And while on the cross with Jesus, one of those thieves gave his life to Jesus, Luke 23:43. Again, even at the cross, Jesus saved a person from hell. Jesus was betrayed by a thief, yet Jesus saved a thief right before he died. So right after 3 p.m., before he died, which is the 9th hour, from 3 to 6, he told John to take care of his mom. And they also later gave him some vinegar, because he had lost so much blood, and he actually received it. Then later on, he cried with a loud voice, "It is finished." And Jesus gave up his spirit, John 19:30. Jesus severed his silver cord. This is the cord that ties our spirit to our soul, to our body, Ecclesiastes 12:6. Jesus volunteered his death. If Jesus did not sever his silver cord, he to this day would still be on the cross, because no one can kill God. So he gave up his life for us. So Jesus died on a Wednesday at 3 p.m. around the age of 33. Now, according to Matthew 12:40, for as Jonas was 3 days and 3 nights in a whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. Jesus spent 3 days and 3 full nights in the center of the earth, aka hell, taking back the keys of death, hell, and the grave. And this is where most pastors get this wrong. During that week, there was actually 2 Sabbaths. A yearly Sabbath, which is a high day, John 19:31, which was that Thursday, and a weekly Sabbath, which was that Saturday. So that Thursday was the first full night and day. That Friday was the second full night and day. That Saturday, the weekly Sabbath, was the third night and day. And Mark 16:9 says, Jesus was risen early the first day of the week, which in the Jewish calendar is a Sunday. This is the true timeline of Jesus' death and resurrection. Read these chapters for a better understanding. Isaiah 50 through 52, Matthew 12 and 27, Luke 22 and 23, Mark 15 and 16, John 19. You'll have a good day and be safe and stay away from bad people because bad company corrupts good character. And always remember, to God be all the glory. Jesus really is God. Jesus really is Lord. Peace.